गुरेव गति गुरुमेव भजे गुरुनैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरुः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरो मम पाहि गुरो सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरये परमात्मने प्रणतः क्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेदमपेदकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकादर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरमोऽभिनेदुस्तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः. We are seeing the Kapilopatesa, which comes in Canto 3 of Srimad Bhagavada Purana. In the last video, I explained how Kapila Bhagavan said about the concept of bhakti and how bhakti will lead to jnana and how to meditate on his form. And after telling all that, Kapila Bhagavan, he tells to his mother Devahuti about the spiritual evolution of the different beings. There are so many beings in this creation, isn't it? So he is telling about the spiritual evolution of that beings. First comes the gross matter. That is that gross matter, like a stone and rock, sand and all. It will not have any consciousness. It cannot express its consciousness or a sense, or it is considered as a non-living being. Because it cannot express the consciousness. It won't have mind and all that other facilities. So first comes the gross matter. Superior to the gross matter is that beings which has life. Life means we can say that small beings like one cell organs and all that. Superior to those beings that have life is those beings that can breathe, like small insects and all. And superior to those beings that can breathe are the beings that have consciousness. And that also we can, that very small insects like that has a consciousness. And superior to those beings which has consciousness is that beings which has the sense power. They can sense that something. That is the superior to the beings that have only conscious. Among the beings that have sense powers, more superior is those beings that have the well-developed touch sense. Touch sense means the vegetations and all. When we touch, some plants will shrink. So they have the touch sense. So those beings are superior to the beings that have only sense power. And among those beings, the next in the higher evolution is the beings that have the touch power and the taste, power of taste well developed in them. For example, fish and all that. We caught the fish by the bait, isn't it? So the fish, etc. Superior to those beings are the beings in them, the developed with the sense power of touch, taste, and that can have the power of hearing sense. Like snakes, reptiles, they have very powerful hearing sense. Superior to them are the beings that have all these other senses plus the sense of the rupa. That is the form. They can distinguish the form. Like the birds like a crow, hen and all. And superior to them are the beings that have teeth of two rows, like alligators, crocodiles, and that, like that. Superior to those beings are the beings that have multiple legs, like millipede, centipede, and all that. Superior to them are the beings that have four legs, like cow, goat, and all the other animals. And superior to them are the beings with two legs, that is man, the human beings. And superior in that human beings, there are four varnas basically, and superior to all those human beings are the brahmanas. And among the brahmanas, those who study the Vedas are superior. And more superior to them are the Brahmanas who study Veda and who understand the meaning of the Vedas. And superior to them are the Brahmanas who understand the meaning and share it with others or clear the doubt of the others. And superior to them are the beings who performs their ordained duty perfectly. And superior to those beings are the beings or the human beings who perform their duties perfectly as well as without expecting any result. And superior to those beings are the human beings who surrender to Bhagavan. With their body and mind, they surrender to Bhagavan. So those men are superior among all. And Bhagavan says, there is no one superior than them. That's all. The spiritual evolution stops with that. There is no one superior than the man or woman who surrendered to Bhagavan unconditionally with their body and mind. So this is the spiritual evolution of the different beings. Manasaitani bhutani pranamid bahumanayan Ishvaro jiva kalaya pravishto bhagavaniti. There is jiva kalaya. This jiva is the part of Bhagavan and it is existing or dwelling in all beings. Understanding that one should respect or salute all beings mentally. And that is the concept behind telling Namaste. By this, we worship the Antaratma in us and the people who are in front of us. So we are worshipping our jiva as well as the jiva of all the beings because that is the real Ishvara. So we respect the Atma or jiva in us as well as the jiva of all the beings standing in front of us. So that is the concept behind it. And telling this, Bhagavan said that, Amma, now I have said about the path of devotion as well as the path of knowledge. So both are, by both ways we can reach the Supreme. If we practice the Bhakti Yoga, then after some time we go to the Jnana Yoga. But if we practice the Jnana Yoga in the beginning itself, then it will be very clear what is Bhagavan and what is Jiva, everything. So both are same. By any way, according to the mentality of the person, he can choose the path, he said. Now, having explaining all this, Bhagavan now explains about the concept of time. Rupa bhedaspatam divyam kala ityabhidiyate bhutana mahadadinam yato bhinna drisham bhayam. Time is a unique power of Bhagavan. It causes transformation in all forms of the beings. We were all not in this form some 10 or 20 years back. So now we are in this form. This form itself will change into another form. So it keeps on changing by time. And one who identifies too much with Prakriti, they are scared or afraid of time because it brings transformation. And Bhagavan says that Kala, that time, is supports and permeates everything. It causes destruction of one combination of elements by another combination. These forms are destroyed by, this form is one combination of elements that is destroyed by another combination of elements by time. So everything is subject to destruction. All the forms are subject to destruction. Vishnavakyo dhiyajño kala kalayatam prabho. The kala, that is the time, is Vishnu. He is all-pervading, and he who gives the result of all the yajnas, and he draws everything into himself. Kala kalayatam prabhu. He is that Prabhu. He draws everything into himself by time. That is the power of Bhagavan, that is the Kala, which is inherent in him. Na chasya kaschidyatito na dvesho na cha bhantavaha avishatya pramattosa pramattam janamantakrit. There is this time, it is impartial to all. This power of Bhagavan is impartial to all. There is no one dear to him. No one is dveshti, no one is enemy to the Kala. Bandhava, no one is related to time. And it is the unceasing moment of time that consumes all beings. And this entire universe fear this Kala. Because if that work is not done perfectly at that right time, then it will destroy everything. So everyone is afraid of Kala. The sun rises respecting Kala, and the wind blows respecting Kala, the water flows respecting Kala. So everyone is respect and are afraid of Kala, that is time. And Kapila Bhagavan says that even the Trimurtis, Bhagavan Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, they perform their duties respecting Kala. Brahma Deva, he creates at the right time, because instigated, we have seen that, instigated by time, that Brahman, which has everything in him, it begin to manifest. That Prakriti in him will be shaken by that time, and it begin to manifest. So Brahma, he performs the creation duty or respecting this Kala. Vishnu, he sustains this creation respecting Kala. Bhagavan, Shiv, he distracts everything respecting Kala. And everyone performs their cosmic function by respecting the time. Sonantontakaraha kalo hanadiradikrudavyayah janam janena janayan marayan mrityu nantakam. This time is anadi, limitless. There is no beginning or end for this time. Na anta nor adi. There is no beginning or end for this time. Avyaya. It cannot be destroyed. And this time destroys everything. But that time cannot be destroyed. It creates everything. And it brings an end to everything. And in the end, it consumes or destroys that mrityu, antaka, that itself. It destroys the death itself. That is the power of Kala. Bhagavan Kapila Muni tells about the concept of Kala, or the secret behind the Kala, to his mother Devahuti. And he says that, Bhagavan says that, Yam yamartam upadatte dukkhena sukha hetave tam tam dhunoti Bhagavan bhumam stochati yat krute. Whatever man yearns by hard work, by hard effort, for his enjoyment or for his security, everything is destroyed by Kala. Tam tam Bhagavan dhunoti. Bhagavan, in the form of Kala, he destroys everything. That's why the jnanis say, whatever you earn, one day it will be destroyed. So, renounce this world, because that is the nature of this world. We cannot change the nature of anything. We cannot change our nature itself. Then how can we change the nature of Prakriti? Whatever we earn by hard work, by dharma also, it will not be there always. It is not permanent. At one time it will be destroyed. Human yat krude sochadi. And by this man is grieving a lot. Man grieves a lot, Bhagavan says. And he again says, यदध्रुवस्य देहस्य सानुबन्धस्य दुर्मतिः ध्रुवाणि मन्यते मोहात् गृहक्षेत्रवसूनि च. Man, by his ignorant thoughts or ignorantly, he thinks that griha means house, family, wife, children, parents, brothers, everyone. Then kshetra means unmovable property like land, field, estates, all that. And vasuni, that is money, how much we deposit without knowing everything in the Swiss bank, whatever it may be, whatever it fixed deposits or wherever we put the money in, all will be destroyed by time. We think that all these assets are permanent. Bhagavan says that all these assets are permanent. Man thinks like that. That is what all we earn by this body. We earn wealth by this body. By working, we earn the wealth. We earn all that estate. We earn the family, relatives, friends by this body only. So, what all we earn by this body, man thinks ignorantly that it is all permanent, but it is all not permanent. It is so temporary because this body itself is temporary. Then, what to say about what we have earned with this body? Some people think that if I earn, maybe it will not be helpful for me, but it will be helpful for the next generation. That's also not true. Somehow the time destroys everything. Janturvaibhava tasman yam yam yoni manuvrajed tasyam sallabhate nirvratim na virajyate. From this shloka, Bhagavan Kapila tells about the transmigration of the soul. He says that a jiva transmigrating from one body to another experience all the enjoyments with that body. Whatever it decides, some people they enjoy it, but still they are not satisfied with the enjoyment. They do not want to separate from this body. They are not satisfied, content with the happiness or with the enjoyments. Bhagavan is telling they never attain dispassion. Na virajyadevain, they never attain dispassion, whatever body they take. So by their sinful deeds, they go to hell, and they are there also in that body, with that body with which they live in the hell. They are attached to that body. They do not want to leave the body because they are not satisfied with this body of enjoyment, he says. And Bhagavan says that a person who is very wealthy, who has a very good family, children, all of them educated according to their wishes, and all of them are earning. They have very high position in the society, wealth, they earn a lot, fame, everything they have. Just imagine like that. Bhagavan says that, and they again do heinous sins to maintain their position and status. A person of that status in the society do not want to go down in the rank, and he searched for all the wrong ways because he want to be in that position, and he want to win whatever there is under the sky. He want to win everything, and in that bargain he insult others, disrespect others, deceive others, spoil the family of others, and sometimes even kill others. So they do heinous sins, and as the result of it, what happens is this man experiences the repercussions of his karma, and he suffers a lot. For whom he earned all this, that is for his family and for himself in that position. And when he was in that position, everyone respected him. And all those people who respected him, they do not respect him now because as the result of his papa karmas. No one respects him. At the old age, his health will deteriorate. No one will be there to take care of him. His wealth will also deteriorate, because when the health deteriorates, along with it goes all the fixed deposits and money, and what all name and fame he has earned, all that will be dissolved, or all that will go away. We are seeing all this in the society, isn't it? And with a strong attachment with this body, he leaves this body. Do you think that's the end of the story? No, it's only a beginning. So he leaves this body, that jiva, along with all the impressions of his papa and punya. If the papa karmas are more, then he goes to the hell, that is the nether worlds. So he will go to the different purgatories according to the sinful deeds he have done. There he attains a body according to the situation there, and with that body he experiences all the difficulties and sufferings. And the peculiarity in the hell or in heaven is, here we have this body and our mind will attach to only one sense at a time more prominently. All the other senses will be there, but it will not be that prominent. See, when I speak, I cannot properly hear or see or anything. I concentrate on this. When I eat, I concentrate on that. All the other senses will be a little low. When I hear a bhajan or a music, that hearing sense will be prominent and dominating. All the other senses, four senses, will be a little down. But in the heaven or in the hell, all the senses will be dominant. That is, they will have full power. All the senses will have full power. If it is in Swarga, then there is no problem. Then we can experience all the enjoyments through the five senses. But in hell, we have to suffer through these five senses. So that the jiva, irrespective of whether he was a man or a woman, when he lived in this world, whether he's a man or woman, whatever sinful deeds he has done, he go there in the hell and experience all those difficulties, innumerable sufferings. And Bhagavan says that some of the purgatories like Tamishra, Antatamishra, and Raurava, these are all hell, which gives a lot of suffering to the beings there. So that causes a lot of pain and suffering for him. After exhausting all the papa karmas there, that is the prominent papa karmas, he comes back to this world. And immediately he won't get a human birth. He has to take birth in lower animals. So one by one he has to experience all those difficulties, and at last he gets the human birth. So this world is just like a papa and punya karmas hub. What all karmas we do here, if it is more punya, then we go to heaven. If it is more papa karmas, then we go to hell. So after exhausting either punya karmas in the heaven or the papa karmas in the hell, we again come back to this world, and here we take birth in the different lower living beings. If we have come from the hell, then we have to take birth in the lower living beings like animals, birds and all. If you are coming from the heaven, then no problem, we will get a very good birth. So here Bhagavan is concentrating or telling about the one who does the sinful deeds, where he is giving prominence for that. So he, after expiating all the sins in hell, in various animal bodies, he get a chance of birth in this earth. So after taking all those births, at last he gets a human being, birth as a human being. Do you think the human birth inside the womb of the mother is peaceful? More suffering than this, because it cannot experience anything, it cannot divert its mind, it cannot go anywhere. It is like a caged bird for that fetus. Bhagavan says that jiva, with that subtle body or those impressions, it has to develop its own gross body. Stage by stage it has to develop. So each month it develops its gross body, and it experiences a lot of suffering because it has a tender skin, and with that tender skin it has to remain in the womb of another body. It is just like a caged bird, and more than that, it experiences many bodily pain. And what is the position of that fetus in the womb of a mother? His head and body, everything curled up, with his two hands he is keeping like this. So he suffers a lot in that body, with head and neck curled up. Even his movement inside this body is restricted. It feels now like a caged bird. And by the divine will, it remembers all its papa karmas. So, as a result of doing what all karmas, it is now experiencing this suffering. It will remember it very well. So, this remembrance of its karmas makes it more uncomfortable. It has bodily pain as well as the mental pain now. In that suffering and in that unhelpful situation, that helpless situation, in that position of distress, it worships Bhagavan with its folded hands like this. Kapila Bhagavan says that the Jiva worships Bhagavan and tell Bhagavan that I take shelter in you, Bhagavan. You are the one who takes many incarnations in this world to help all these beings. So I take shelter in you. Please help me. Yastvatra bhadda iva karma viravrutatma bhudindriya shayamayim avalambhya mayam aste vishuddham avikaram akantabodham Adapyamana hridaye avasitam namami. It says that Bhagavan, you are that Vishuddham, pure being. Avikaram, you never change. Akhandabodham, you are that undivided consciousness. I am that Jiva who have forgotten that spiritual nature, and I am bound in this situation because of my karmas. I am bound by the material substance. I am the Jiva, but I do not understand my spiritual nature. I forgot my spiritual nature. Even though I am same as you, I do not remember it very well now. I am covered by this material substance, which is the product of Prakriti. You are that Shuddha Bhagavan, unchanging, and who is present in Atyapyamana Hridayam. You are present in this distressed heart too. So you are the indweller of everything. I worship you. This fetus who is the Jiva in the womb of the mother, it worships Bhagavan, regardless of its religion or race or anything. Any jiva in this world will worship Bhagavan because it doesn't have any rupa or anything. Only when it comes out, we'll take them to the temple and show the rupa of Bhagavan. Now it worships that being who is in him. So it worships that Bhagavan. Yep. पञ्चभूतरचिते रहितशरीरे चन्नो यदेन्द्रियगुणार्थचिदात्मकोऽहम् तेनाभिगुण्डमहिमानमृषिं तमेनं वन्दे परं प्रकृतिपुरुषयो भुमांसम्. That I salute that supreme being who is supreme than this Purusha, and who does not have this body like what I have, this with these five elements, whose consciousness is supreme and undivided. He is not influenced by all the senses. That Bhagavan, that pure being who has unlimited power and wisdom, I worship that Bhagavan, this Jiva inside the womb, it says. Yenmayayoru gunakarma nibandhanismin samsarike paticharam stadabhikshramena nashtasmrit punarayam pravrinitaloham yuktyaghaya mahadanugrahamantarena. It is the Maya, which is the power of Bhagavan, and along with my karmas, I am brought in this stage of bondage. and it erased all my inherent spiritual power. The Jiva says, all my spiritual powers I do not remember because of Maya and because of the karma. I am in this bondage. I do not know any other about my spiritual nature. And I do not know any other way to regain my spiritual nature. So, in that distressed situation, I worship you. By your grace only, I have to remember anything. So, please, Bhagavan, help me. That Jiva says. ज्ञानं यदेदत्तधात् कथं स देवः त्रैखालिकं स्थिरचरेष्वनुवर्तितांशः तं जीवकर्म पदवीमनुवर्तमाना तापत्रयोपशमनाय वयं भजेम. It is the Lord by whom this whole universe is pervaded, and that Bhagavan who has given me about this past memory and he make me aware of this present situation. I pray that Bhagavan and for this relief from this suffering arising from the entanglement of my karmas. So this bondage is because of my karma. So I now worship that Bhagavan, the Jiva says. देह्यन्यदेह विवरे जडराग्निना सृग विन्मूत्रकूपपतितो वृषतप्तदेहः इच्छन्निदो विवसितुं गणयन् स्वमासान् निवस्थिते कृभणधीर्भगवन् कदानो. It says that I am lying in this cavity of another body, covered with all that Vinmutra Kupapadita. I am in this pool of all that dirty fluids and tortured by the Jadaragni. The Jadaragni is that Agni which is mainly in our stomach, which digests the food. So by that Jadaragni, my tender skin is being scorched, and I am counting days, Bhagavan. When will I come out? That Jiva asks Bhagavan, worships Bhagavan. I repeatedly salute you for giving me this awareness that I am the Jiva of pure spiritual being. At least this awareness I have. When I was inside the previous bodies of animals, I did not even have this awareness itself. So what else can I give you at this distressed state other than giving my pranams? That Jiva tells Bhagavan. But due to my virtue, I am able to understand at least this much. And the Jiva says, even though my stay in this cavity is like a caged bird, I do not want to come out, because when I come out, I forget everything. Or my spiritual nature, I completely forget, and I will be overcome by the body consciousness. Then I cannot remember my spiritual nature itself. At least now I am aware of it, but I cannot stay here also. It is so suffocating. I am with lot of distress I am experiencing, that fetus will say. And it will take a vow, or it will take a resolution that when I come out, I will make a conscious endeavor to regain my spiritual nature, to regain or be aware of my spiritual nature. I will worship you and I will realize you, and I will avoid future births. That vow or resolution, the young Jiva, which is in the form of fetus in the womb of the mother, it takes resolution. But what happens in the 10th month? It is pushed out of the cavity of the mother by strong forces. In that suffocation, pain, breathless nature, it is pushed out. It comes out of that cavity of the mother in a very distressed state. And when it comes out in that suffocation, painful nature, everything it experiences, and it forgets its spiritual nature, and it screams, it cries aloud, I forgot that spiritual nature. What will I do now? That feeling that young fetus will have when it is born. Now it is surrounded by many people who do not understand his needs, nor can he express his desires by words. So, for some time, it experiences this misery. It cannot express itself, and the people around, however very lovable they are, they cannot understand him. And what is more distressing is some children are thrown just like dust garbage in the dustbins, and they experience so many difficulties. Worse are those situations. Even when a child is born in a royal family, it doesn't want all that. It wants to remain or regain its spiritual consciousness, which it cannot. So it is surrounded by a lot of people who, in the name of carrying him, actually we disturb the child. So he grows like this in the infancy, childhood. When it becomes a youth, the body consciousness will be well established. Then that's all. Again, the same cycle repeats. It gets angry with everyone who stands as an obstacle for his desires. He doesn't understand that it is all his karmas that are the real obstacles for his desires. He doesn't realize it. And to win everything under the sun, he goes in the wrong way, insult many people, deceive many people, disrespect many. He runs in the rat race and earns many papas. And again, the same cycle repeats. It goes to hell, then come out after exhausting all the bad karmas there, come out, take animal birth in this, then come to jiva. Again, it goes on and on. So that jiva falls as a prey, or it is in the trap of Maya through the sense pleasures. So all that, to experience that sense pleasures, it does all this just for winning for myself and for my family to be in the top of the society. It does all those mistakes. So after explaining this, Kapila Bhagavan tell about what is death. We all say death, death, and many people are all scared of it. What is death? He very well explains it. And we have this gross body. Behind this gross body, there is a subtle body. And Bhagavan says, Dehena jiva bhutena loha loha manuvrajan bunjana eva karmani karutya viratam puman. The jiva is associated only with the linga sharira. Behind this gross body, there is a subtle body which we call it as linga sharira. And the jiva is more closely associated with the linga sharira, and the linga sharira is only associated with the gross body. So that is the setup there. And when this gross body perishes or dies or falls off, whatever word we can use, the linga sharira or that subtle body is not destroyed. It will be there intact. And while enjoying the fruits, this linga sharira, to enjoy the fruits of the next set of impressions, it takes another body. And Bhagavan says that Jivo Hyasyanugo Deho Bodhendriya Manomaya Tannirodosya Maranamavirbhavastu Sambhavaha. That linga sharira, what is that linga sharira? It is constituted of the subtle elements, that is the tanmatras, the manas, the thoughts, and the indriyas, the subtle senses. So all these make the linga sharira, or we can say in English a subtle body, which is behind this gross body. This subtle body along with the jiva cannot perform any action. So it needs a instrument, and that instrument is the gross body. So according to the impressions in the mind of the linga sharira, with the help of the jiva, that combination, it develops a gross body. So that is how the fetus is developed inside the womb of the mother. It develops a gross body and it cannot perform actions separately. So it uses this instrument according to its impressions in the mind and develops this gross body. The development of this gross body, when it becomes complete, that linga sharira, it attaches with the gross body by the ego sense. So it is the ahankara that connects the linga sharira along with jiva with the gross body. It connects the ego sense with the gross body, and that is the birth of this gross body. This is called birth. So what is death? When the linga sharira uses this gross body like an instrument, perform all the actions according to the impressions in the mind, and at one stage, when all that set of impressions are exhausted, it can no more use this present gross body for the expression of the future impressions. There will be another set of impressions. It cannot use this body. So what does the linga sharira with the power of jiva they do? They just withdraw the I consciousness, this ahankara, the ego sense from the gross body. And the gross body disconnects from the linga sharira. And that is said as the death of this gross body. So the gross body is here. Gross body, what I say, is the physical body. So this gross body is used only as an instrument. The linga sharira uses this gross body as an instrument, and after exhausting the set of karmas, it just disconnects, that is, takes off the ego sense from the gross body, and that is the death of the gross body. So Kapila Bhagavan says to his mother Devahuti that, Amma, this birth and death are only for the gross body. It is external to the jiva and even external to the linga sharira. So no one needs to be concerned about this birth or death. That's why Bhagavan says that what all we earn by this body, this body itself is temporary. Then what about that? What all we earn by that body? So that is the birth and the death. So no one needs to be concerned about it or give too much value for it. And because when the karmas are, that is, when the set of karmas in the mind are exhausted, using this particular body, the linga sharira draws this ego consciousness from it and the body will follow. Again, the linga sharira along with the jiva, it develops another body according to the impressions in the mind, according to the karmas. It develops another body and connects the ego sense with it. That is the birth of that body, and so for some time it performs all the karmas, and again this cycle repeats. So this is the concept of birth and death, which is very well explained by Kapila Muni or Kapila Bhagavan in his Kapilopatesa. I will continue with the rest of the Kapilopatesa in my next upload. Om Shri Narayana Khila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.